Good afternoon, Doc Ann. Today, I'm going to report student-centered learning. The term student-centered learning refers to a wide variety of educational programs, learning experiences, instructional approaches, and academic support strategies that are intended to address the distinct learning needs, interests, aspiration, or cultural backgrounds of individual students and groups of students. To accomplish this goal, schools, teachers, guidance counselor, and other educational specialists may employ a wide variety of educational methods from modifying assignments and instructional strategies in the classroom to entirely redesigning the ways in which students are grouped and taught in a school. Because student-centered learning has a broad implication, and the term may encompass the wide variety of potential instructional strategies and academic programs, it may be difficult to determine precisely what the term is referring to when it's used without qualification, specific example, or additional explanation. In some cases, the term may have a very specific technical meaning, but in the others, it may be vague and decipherable jargon. For example, some educators use the term synonymously with personalized learning and relate terms, while others see personalized learning as one aspect of student-centered learning, but not a synonymous term or concept. For this reason, it is important to investigate precisely how the term is being used and what is referring to in a specific educational context. The term student-centered learning most likely arose in a response to educational decisions that did not fully consider what students needed to know or what methods would be most effective facilitating learning for individuals, student, or group of students. Beliefs about learning. Students learn in different ways. Learning is active and dynamic process. Students respond well when they are involved. Students learn with guidance, not prescription. Knowledge is internal and students build in. Old traditional approach, most class time is spent with the teacher lecturing and the student watching and listening. Students work individually on assignments and cooperation is discouraged. Activities have no meaningful purposes. Student-centered methods shift the focus of activities from the teacher to the learners. The keywords here is active learning. Student during the class. They can create, they can brainstorm, explain, debate, formulate questions of their own, solve problems, discuss, and answer questions. Main characteristic of a student-centered. Students are active doers. Students own 80% of the lesson, and teachers are the organizer. Little time on TTT, it means test, teach, test, and then 20% of the lesson. A checklist. We should meet in order to achieve student-centered learning when thinking about activities and tasks to include in our lesson plans. A checklist of A checklist for meeting and student-centered learning. The activity to task must contain prediction, self-discovery, lesson involvement, knowledge application, varied student interaction patterns. We can achieve this checklist through different kinds of activities. Student-centered learning is here, and then these are the activities that we can use. Games, song with learning value, activities with varied interaction and patterns, and we can make a task for them. Benefits of student-centered learning. Students can work in small groups at school or home. Students have access to more materials. Students are directly involved in what they study. Students take ownership of their learning and more motivated and committed. Benefit of student-centered learning for teachers. Teachers act as facilitators or guides. Teachers help students to work out learning strategies. Teachers develop student research ability. And a good teacher is the one who makes himself progressively unnecessary. From Thomas Carters. Student-centered learning in online environment. Student-centered learning, another terms is flexible learning, experiential learning, and self-directed learning. What is student-centered learning in online class? The learner has a full responsibility for his or her learning. Involvement and participation are necessary for learning. The relationship between learners is more equal, promoting growth and development. The teacher becomes a facilitator and resource person. The learner experiences confluence in his education, affective and cognitive domains flow together. The learner sees himself differently as a result of the learning experience. The motivation of the student online. Intrinsic motivation. Do it for the enjoyment of the activity. Feelings of the accomplishment, earning a degree, learning it allows. Extrinsic motivation are do it for the award and grades promotion at a job. Teacher's role. Assume that students are capable learners who will blossom as power shifts to a more egalitarian classroom. In return, the responsibility for learning to the students so that they can understand their learning strengths and weaknesses and feel self-directed in their knowledge quest. Use content not as a collection of isolated facts, but as a way for students to critically think about the big question in the field. Utilize the assessment measures not just to assign grades, but as our most effective tools to promote learning. Change the role of the teacher from sole authoritarian to fellow traveler in search of knowledge. Other ways to promote student-centered learning. Establish a sense of community, allow students to choose objectives and control their learning. Provide feedback, instructor is facilitator, mentoring, provide clear expectation, activities through the internet. All of the tasks and activities that teachers prepared must facilitate a positive and effective learning environment. Conclusion. In student learning, learners is responsible for their learning. A student is intrinsically motivated or a combination of the two. To allow the online learner to take charge of their learner, the teacher would take to the role of facilitator and provide expectation and feedback to the student. And those are my references, and thank you.